bananas and stuff to carb up, and now I'm not. And the energy levels, I would say, at first, probably a little worse, but now I'd say they're better. I think probably the main factor is the inflammation. I can just sit here and I eat my food. I'm not sore from training. That's what I've noticed. I just don't get as sore. Like, I can train legs, I can kick, I can whatever else. I can still just feel good. I could go for a walk, go for a run. I want to do things while playing with my kids, You're
not as bloated either before weight training either.
Nowhere near as bloated, yeah. Just eat as much meat and dairy and eggs as I want, and I don't put weight on. Absolutely insane. Right, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, and he won't put weight on because he's not stimulating insulin. He's stimulating glucagon. So once again, he's another great example of all these people who tell me calories matter, calories count. Like, how many examples do I need to prove to you? This is another example. Biggest Loser is another example. There are so many examples out there in the world to show you that it doesn't matter. Calories do not matter. It's hormones. All right, so in this video, we are going to be reviewing Eddie Hall and his 30 days carnivore diet. Now, already that's very interesting because this is the strong man. This is like one of the strongest people in the world from what I'm aware of. And it's some really, really heavy lifting stuff. And that's pretty interesting because he's willing to give this a try. Now, I already know that the results, he's going to lose weight 100%, doesn't matter. If he eats literally nothing but meat and eggs, I guarantee you he'll lose weight. I can guarantee a lot of other things, but I'm very curious to see what he has to say about it. And I'll be able to see what his experience is on it. I'm really curious, actually. So, yeah, let's get to it.
I have definitely lost weight.
Yeah, okay, I already said that earlier. I knew that he would lose weight because that's like the most, that's the guarantee. I 100% guarantee that based on insulin and glucagon and understanding that literally it doesn't, he is a great example of it doesn't matter how many calories you have. Stop thinking calories count. They don't. Calories don't mean jack shit. Calories don't matter. When it comes to losing weight, it doesn't matter. He's a great example. I mean, look at how much meat and eggs he would eat, right? Body is a selectively thermodynamic machine. That's the main reason why he's losing weight. It's because it's all based on insulin and it's all based on glucagon. It's nothing else.
My energy levels are great. I've had a few problems, such as in myself and other things.
Okay, that's pretty funny. I got to admit. Yeah, that one, I've noticed everybody experiences that at the very beginning, including me. You go to the bathroom very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. Because when your body doesn't have fiber, you'll realize just how quickly you can digest food. Like, you digest it so quickly. And not only that, if your stomach is like particularly sensitive to something, for instance, eggs, right? Like, let's say your stomach is a little bit sensitive to eggs. I can guarantee you that, lo and behold, turns out you are going to end up doing exactly what he said. You're going to go use the bathroom real quick. So, yeah. That's pretty funny, though.
But I've managed to remedy that with tweaks in the diet. So stay tuned. First up is breakfast, where I'm going to have salmon, eggs, cottage cheese, and some other things. So let me go chop and t-shirt on, and I'll be back down to join you for breakfast. So breakfast is 5 full, big, organic eggs. We're going to have 2 packs of 100 grams of salmon. So 2 packs of salmon as well. So I actually spoke to a professor, Sean Baker. He's like an expert. He wrote the book on the carnivore diet. So I had a Zoom with him and he gave me some great tips. All with plenty of salt on the food and having a good dose of electrolytes with the compulsory magnesium, potassium, sodium. Every single time I fill this jug up, I have a scoop of the hydro in it. And I have 5 to 6 of these a day. So I'm on 10 to 12 litres a day of water with electrolytes, which is, honestly, with how much I sweat and how much I move, is literally imperative. Got to do it. For being brutally honest.
Yeah, I'm going to probably say that's actually a very interesting, what he said right there. It sort of makes me think Paul Saladino had this problem for that reason. It's because of how much he's moving. I think there's a pretty good chance it has to do with that. Like, there's a pretty good chance. Now, I also think that the whey thing that he has, in terms of protein, like muscle building, will it increase it? Yes, because I mean, I showed it in my amino acid video, but I don't necessarily think it's super healthy because, once again, it does stimulate higher amounts of glucose being made. It increases insulin a little bit more. That's because the excess protein is converted into excess amino acid specifically is converted into glucose. I'm not a big fan of that. Glucose oxidation. I'm not going to comment on that though in this video because I have a pretty good idea. I know his sort of purpose more, so it's not necessarily in this case for longevity, right? Obviously. I mean, if you really want longevity, I really do think that just comes from glucose oxidation. Like, how often are you stimulating glucose oxidation? How much reactive oxygen species are you exposing yourself to regularly? How often are you exposing yourself to phytotoxins and inflammation? Yeah. What's the content of the vitamins and minerals of the food that you're eating? Polyunsaturated fat content, how high is that? So yeah, there's a lot of factors, but
honest, like, to start off, it was great, like, just eating meat and eggs and butter and whatever else, great. And then probably about 2 weeks in, after myself constantly, it got a bit, I need to change this up. No.
Yeah, so once again, everybody usually experiences this on carnivore, and it's because your digestive system doesn't actually have to work so hard. Because when you're using fiber, when you're adding fiber to your diet, you actually increase constipation. You don't decrease constipation, you increase it. It's extra bulk, and that's more work for your stomach to deal with. And when you don't have that extra bulk, suddenly your stomach just immediately processes it. It's really quick. So yeah, once again, I think everybody experiences this on carnivore usually.
That's when I've like really took a step back and just like lowered the. So that Sean Baker was great. You got to soft yourself. You got to lower the runny fats. I forget what he named for him, but
it might be talking about rendered fats. But yeah, pretty much you just want to lower the bacon. So for instance, bacon, chicken, eggs can also contribute to this actually because they have trypsin inhibitors, and they might make your stomach a little upset as well. There's a couple factors, but yeah.
Basically runny fats like the loose fats like butter and everything, and eat more solid fats like salmon and ribeye steaks and stuff like that, and that's helped a lot. I would say now I'm eating whatever I want in terms of like on the carnivore diet. I can eat as much as I want, and I don't have to worry about putting weight on, which is great. So I never have to feel hungry. But
yeah, once again, and this is because leptin will be jacked up completely because, once again, fat jacks up leptin. And if you're eating tons of carbohydrates, you're jacking up ghrelin. And that ghrelin is going to haunt you because that ghrelin is the hunger hormone. And you're going to feel hungry because of that. And leptin won't be satiated when you eat carbohydrates. It'll be satiated temporarily, but it won't be satiated, and then it'll just end up skyrocketing again, and then you'll feel hungry, and you won't be satiated, which is why you can literally eat so much sugar over and over again and still not feel full, which is... It's pretty bad because eventually you eat too much of it and then you feel really sick. You feel really sick. Before carnivore, I've experienced that many times.
Well, and the downside is I do miss pizza and cheesecake.
I was going to say, is there anything you miss? I remember it was double Domino's and a full New York cheesecake last time.
I've never ate so much raw smoked salmon in my life.
Do you ever want to go see a salmon again? Would you go fishing after this?
Right, I've cut down the supplements a lot just to try it, so I'm not taking any of the greens, I'm not taking any of like the vitamin C powders and the glutathiones and stuff like that.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, he won't have to take all that vitamin C because insulin's very low, and his body can actually tell the difference between glucose specifically and ascorbic acid, which, by the way, they both compete for the same transporter, vitamin C. So yeah, it very good. That's already a good start. You don't need the green powder either. If it's at like, oh my god, that AG1 green powder, I swear that's a scam. There's no way that's not a scam. Well, I mean, fruits and vegetables themselves being told are healthy are a scam, and that powder I can guarantee you is a scam as well.
I said again, like Sean Baker, the carnivore expert, just said just cut them out for a bit and just see how you feel. And I feel good. So maybe it's something I need to keep up.
Yeah, you do.
I'm although still having the Big D, which is a daily saturation product, which has got absolutely everything in that your muscles need to grow big and strong, such as creatine, stuff like that. So a good dose of that every day.
Yeah, so once again, I think I explained the amino acid thing before. In his case, you probably do need it, because if you look at amino acid content, I mean, this protein powder stuff is really, really high, but it does cause an increase in insulin, and I'm not a big, an increase in blood glucose, not really a big fan of that, because excess amino acids get converted to carbohydrates, or glucose in this case. But yeah, it will help though. I can guarantee you it will help. You probably, by the way, if you do want this, first off, you want to try to make sure that your amino acid sources are from animals if it's possible, because I have a feeling that, I don't necessarily know what the purifying process of this is, but based on like my chemistry, or when I was a chemist before, purification is not 100%. So just because you get product, just because you purify product, doesn't mean you get 100% of it. Sometimes you get like impurities, right? And those impurities, in this case, I'm not entirely sure if they could be phytotoxins, but they could be residual things that you don't necessarily want. So if you do plan on building muscle, this is, and you want to go carnivore, you could probably do this. And I'm pretty sure that this would work, just based on my understanding of amino acids and stuff. I think this would probably work.
It's essential. Right, I then have a good dose of mushroom powders, and these are just different health benefits, such as like lungs and focus and brain energy and all that kind of thing, just to help me just get through the day a little bit better. One of the big things,
I'm not a big fan of that, because they also have mycotoxins. I'm pretty sure the word for fungus version of toxins is a mycotoxins. So not a big fan of those. I react to them heavily. I think like my first day of carnivore, actually, I wouldn't even call it carnivore. I'd call it like, well, before I went full carnivore, I did try to like have mushrooms, and I saw how my body reacted. It was bad. It was really bad. So I definitely had a reaction to it.
when you're cooking steak, it's salt. Butter, no salt.
Okay, I'll agree. Salt and butter is pretty good.
Lots and lots of salt. Just sear this all sides, and then I'll bang it in the oven for 15-20 minutes to make sure the inside's a little bit cooked. But it's important that you cook steak rare, medium rare. Never cook a steak well done.
I'm gonna have to agree with him on that one. I personally, I like my steak rare, if not very, very rare, like very, very, very rare. I like it so much more like that. I usually like the outsides like seared, but the inside completely like raw usually, or sort of raw anyways. For the most part, it would definitely be considered rare. That's my favorite version of it. I'm gonna have to agree with him on that.
It just, not only does it ruin the taste, it actually breaks down the proteins in the meat and makes them less potent and absorbable.
Yes, very true. Very, very true. There might actually be a reason though why that is preferred by animals, and it could actually be, or certain animals, like for instance chimps, because I'm pretty sure chimps prefer their meat cooked. And that could actually be because of the concentrations and the balancing of certain amino acids as well as vitamins and minerals. More specifically, balancing like the content to make it more balanced. Because when you can have the same thing from plants, for instance. When you try to absorb certain nutrients from plants, but the vitamin E content in plants is so high that you absorb like none of it. You absorb no iron. So that's sort of an example as to why exactly. I think that's what I think anyways.
Go. And my dog. How'd I do? Look at that. That is how you cook ribeye steak. That's beautiful. Now remember, if you really want to enjoy your food, you've got to chop it. You've got to get some air in your mouth around your tongue. That is the best way to enjoy food. And so I could never get bored of eating ribeye steak and everything. The big thing on my diet as well is like eating the fat. A lot of people say, "I'll cut the fat away." Well, no, that's my energy. That's my carbs in essence. That's what's going to fuel me.
Best tasting bit.
Yes, actually, very true. Wow. I don't know if you heard that from Sean Baker, but yes, that's very, very true. Yeah, because you are either using one of two fuel sources. You're either using fat or you're using glucose. And if you use fat, once again, you're guaranteed to get more energy, more ATP is made, less reactive oxygen species is made as well. And if you use glucose, then you're getting less energy. And not only are you getting less energy, you're also getting more reactive oxygen species. No bueno, you don't want those. So yeah, very, very, very correct. Wow.
Get the steak as well.
They did. You know, bananas and stuff to carb up. And now I'm not. And the energy levels, I would say, at first, probably a little worse, but now I'd say they're better. I think probably the main factor is the inflammation. You know, I can just sit here and I eat my food. I'm not sore from training. So I've noticed I just don't get as sore. Like I can train legs, I can kick, I can whatever else, I could still just feel good. You know, I could go for a walk, go for a run. I'd want to do things while play with my kids, you know.
You're not as bloated either before weight training either.
Nowhere near as bloated, yeah.
Yeah, once again, and why wouldn't he be less bloated? Because he's not having any fiber. There's no fiber, so that means there's no extra methane. And that's exactly how you get bloated. Exactly, that's one reason you can get bloated. You can also get bloated other ways. Very, very bad ways. I don't think he has got autoimmune problems. But yeah, I'm going to have to say, he gets a stamp of approval. He gets Blaze's stamp of approval. Very well done.
I can just eat as much meat and dairy and eggs as I want, and I don't put weight on. Absolutely insane. Right, I think that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, and he won't put weight on because he's not stimulating insulin. He's stimulating glucagon. So once again, he's another great example of all these people who tell me calories matter, calories count. Like, how many examples do I need to prove to you? This is another example. Biggest Loser is another example. There are so many examples out there in the world to show you that it doesn't matter. Calories do not matter. It's hormones. I think even Mike Israel also said, Greg Doucette, all these people are like, oh my God, it's all calories. Look at this guy. You want to see real strong man? Look at this man. Calories don't matter. It's not calories. Calories don't mean jack.
Today, I think it's been insightful for myself. Well, just you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think of my diet so far. Obviously, I've made adjustments. I'm going to make more adjustments after today. I think that lumen has aided me into realizing how much carbs in the dairy. And probably that's where I'm downfalling with the ketosis.
Yeah, he would. If he really wants, he could keep it. I personally wouldn't recommend it. I'm full carnivore. I don't have any dairy and stuff. If he was growing while he was like still in his adolescence, then I would say like, yeah, go ahead, have more dairy. If you really want to grow even taller and like add more growth factors in there, because dairy will do that. That's literally the way it's designed. It's like a growth. It's a combination of things to increase growth factors. So yeah. All right, hope you learned something, and this is actually probably pretty helpful for anybody who's sort of interested in like the bodybuilding sort of thing or gaining tons of muscle. You sort of got to see how I see creatine powder as well, because even though it can be helpful for muscle building, yes, I personally wouldn't recommend it because once again, glucose, longevity and stuff. But I mean, it would help. It definitely would help. I think it would. I don't see downsides unless it's plant derived, which I would try to avoid if it is. I would just want to know the purity. I would just want to know the purity. That's the main thing. That's definitely the main thing. Once again, thanks for watching. If you found the video helpful, informative, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Helps the channel grow, like always. And if you want to see all my videos ahead of time, click the join button down below. So yeah, once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.